It is not time for dinner. It's not time for even a lunch. It's time to munch on the snack. I'm Matt Graney, and with me as usual would be Dan McEntee. But today, I'm joined by Jess Berko.
Hello.
Jess Berko, a featured regular on the show. He's going to help me take the reins, and we're going to dive through some sports today. It's going to be a good show. I say, first off, we're going to talk a little about the era of the pitcher. We're going to talk about how baseball has developed more of a, not so much a hitting and a powered, game. Now it's more controlled by the pitching. And we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA draft that just took place last night. So get your spoons ready. Eat it up.
All right, Mac, let's talk some baseball.
Baseball.
Read a really interesting article today by Jason Stark at ESPN.com.
Is he Iron Man?
He is almost Iron Man.
Oh, that's Tony Stark's.
Sorry,
yeah. That's my bad.
But, I mean, the way he writes, he's basically Iron Man. So basically the article is called The Age of the Pitcher. It's just about how this is the era of the pitcher as opposed to about a decade ago during the steroids era where it was all about the big hitters and the home runs.
I mean, juicing up's part of the game.
Okay.
I think it should be allowed.
Okay, so we're just going to disregard that and move on. So basically, what was really interesting about this is that so far this season there's already been 5 no-hitters, 2 of them perfect. And basically, with they're so frequent at this point that they're not even that exciting anymore. And so basically, it's just pitchers are dominating the game, and it seems to be the most dominant part of the game. And there were some really interesting stats that I saw from this article. First of all, a huge drop in the amount of runs, total runs for the season. In 2000, it was 24,971. Compared to 2012, we're on pace for 20,898. That's a drop of over 4,000 runs.
That's a huge drop.
Huge drop off. Another average. Home runs. 2000, it was 5,693. 2000, it was 4,552. A drop of 1,500.
We've seen a lot of home runs already this year, though.
Yeah,
I mean, home run leaders are up to 24, 25 right now. There's multiple leaders.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like, I mean, Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs one year, and the leader last year was Matt Kemp with how many? Like, he had 39.
39?
Barry Bonds in 2001 had 39 at the All-Star break.
I mean, we can put a little asterisk next to that.
That's insane.
That might be
obviously it's an asterisk.
That might be a steroid there, but...
So there's a bunch of fields of thought here. First of all, obviously no steroids, because in 2006 they started enforcing this and started punishing guys.
And for the record, I don't advocate steroids. It's just, we can make another league where it's like the Major League Steroid League. I'd watch that. 15 home runs in a game.
Give metal bats and watch them crank the ball 15.
Cork bats would be encouraged in that league. I'd watch that.
So steroids are gone. 05 they were suspending guys for 10 games for the first offense. 06 they made it 50, and that's really where that started to go away. But then another school of thought that was brought up in the article by Stark was velocity has gone up steadily, like a lot. So
how do you measure that?
Basically, Fangraph is basically these people that they clock basically they record basically every pitch that is thrown in the MLB.
Your job is to just watch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, baseball has the best stats. We all know that. But basically, listen to this. So pitchers with the average fastball velocity of 95 plus miles an hour. In 2007, there were 11 guys as the average, and or the pitchers with the average of 95.
Right.
In 2011 is 35, so a huge jump of guys that are throwing hard.
So guys that definitely got some power in their wheelhouse, they can throw these pitches.
So basically, people are just starting to throw so hard, and that's one part of why the pitches are so much better. Another thing is there's a lot, even though the velocity is way up, there's a lot less of a reliance on the fastball, and guys are throwing a lot more, breaking balls, junk balls, if you will. And a lot of guys are starting to throw cutters, which has become basically the most common, strikeout pitch in the league.
How about one guy throwing a knuckleball out there?
The knuckleball obviously is a different story, but it's very successful. But more guys are relying on these junk balls and
backdoor
getting a lot of guys out.
That's a great.
And then probably the most interesting thing that I read from this was probably the most important one is it's the fact that it's the information age of baseball. Basically,
what does that mean?
Basically every pitcher at their fingertips with an iPad or anything has every single. Has all the stats on every batter, knows where his weak spots are, and they can just focus.
It's like being in a video game. You have everything at your disposal right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So, basically, these guys can pinpoint in on these guys' weaknesses and do whatever they want to them. Another stat that was pretty interesting: strikeout per 9 innings average in 06 was 6.6. In 2012, it's 7.5.
Wow.
So in every aspect of the game, the pitchers are seeming to be more and more dominant.
Well, for one thing, I'm definitely going to be very intrigued to see what the next few years come, because I think it's going to be a lot of pitching era for a while. I definitely think this is going to carry on for a while. We're going to see a lot more pitchers come out, and we're going to see a lot more MVP pitchers. I mean, last year, your MVP was a pitcher.
Yeah, Verlander, the first MVP for a pitcher since Clemens in the mid-'80s, right?
Yeah,
so
it's definitely...
It's a pitcher's game now. It's different than it was with all the home run balls, but I love it.
Agreed. I concur.
All right, it's time to move on to this week's Kid of the Week.
Kid!
We're going with one that's not my favorite because of my Mets allegiance, but this week we're going to second baseman of the Philadelphia Phillies, Chase Utley, who in his first at bat off the DL goes deep, continues to go 3 for 5 in the game with an RBI.
Chase the Ace Utley.
This is a guy that has been battling injuries for a while now.
He hasn't played since last year.
In 08 he hit 33 home runs, so he's a big time hitter. He just needs to get those knees better.
He'll
Start again. You're good. Matt can't talk.
I tend to stutter under pressure.
No problem.
He'll end up hitting 33 this year, I think.
Yeah.
No, but
it's the age of the pitcher, so it has
he'll end up hitting at least 3 home runs this year. But he's going to be a good player. He's going to come back and he's going to make a name for himself. He's a consistently good hitter. Let's swing the conversation to some basketball. Let's talk draft here. Let's just highlight the first 5 picks in the NBA draft.
Sounds good to me.
Kick it off with everyone's favorite, the league favorite, Anthony Davis out of Kentucky, going to the Hornets.
Yes, sir. New Orleans takes him first overall. Not a surprise to anyone. He's huge. He has a unibrow. He's going to get things done.
Anthony Davis to unibrow, James Harden to beard.
Great analogy. Number 2, Charlotte Bobcats take the teammate of champion Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist going to a team that desperately needs anybody.
Yep, worst statistical season of all time. He's 6'7", small forward. He's a beast. He's going to make some differences on that team.
Any guy that can be a good small forward in the NBA is a key component.
Moving on to number 3, our hometown team, the Washington Wizards, taking Bradley Beal, the 6'4" shooting guard from Florida. He can make any shot. Great pick.
Bradley Beal is the new Ray Allen. Great shooter outside. 3-point percentage was ridiculous at Florida.
Yep.
Going to be great to complement John Wall out there.
Yep, great duo. Bring some wins to Washington. Moving on to number 4, the Cleveland Cavaliers take Dion Waiters from Syracuse.
Which is going to be great for Kyrie Irving, who is a ridiculous shooter. He just needs someone to help him out on that team, and they're going to go back and forth and have, hopefully, a good year.
Agreed. And finally, Sacramento Kings take, with the 5th pick, Thomas Robinson from Kansas.
Thomas Robinson built like a brick shithouse. He's going to be the equivalent to Dwight Howard. He is ridiculous. He's huge, and he's him and what, DeMarcus Cousins?
Yeah, 6'10" power forward from Kansas. Him and DeMarcus Cousins are going to be tough.
So they're going to get every rebound, and that team's going to be leading in defensive stats. I'm calling it right now. Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Crunch or Munch.
Yay.
We've got some... I'm sorry.
Why did you say it like that?
We got a special guest with us today, Josh Schooler.
How's it going, everybody? Glad to be here.
Josh, take you to Schooler. All right, Crunch or Munch, Nationals will win NL East.
I'm going to crunch on that. They're pitching best in the league. Hitting's coming together. Boom.
Big time Munch. The New York baseball Mets will wrap up the NL East.
Classic.
Crunch or Munch, Rex Ryan will cut down the Jets' losses like he did his weight.
That's a big JETS crunch.
All right, let's calm
The
down.
Jets going to have to win at least 12 games this year. The Dolphins too good. Patriots are too good. Buffalo's going to be great.
Sorry, I'm going to have to munch on that one, Mr. Mack. You know what? There's just too much uncertainties going on at the quarterback position. No one knows what's going on. Crunch or Munch, Anthony Davis will live up to the hype and earn Rookie of the Year honors.
I'm going to have to go with a crunch on this one. I think he is going to be awesome. He's really athletic. He's gigantic. He has a unibrow. He has all the ingredients to win.
He's got a unibrow.
He'll win it.
I'm going to go Munch.
Is essential.
Going Munch just because I think Kidd-Gilchrist is going to take it from him. I think it's going to be a little surprise, but I think that's what's going to happen. Crunch or Munch, Adam Oates will take them being the Caps to the promised land.
As much as I'd love to crunch, I'm actually going to have to munch on this one. You know what? They just can't make it through the playoffs. I don't know what it is. Hopefully they'll get everything going again. Still a lot of uncertainties at the goalie position.
I'm going to have to munch as well. I like Adam Oates a lot. A lot of respect for the guys. I think he'll have some success, but it will not take them to the promised land. Crunch or Munch, the Miami Heat will repeat.
I'm going to have to crunch on this one. LeBron James, he did it. He proved to the world that he is capable of making the rest of his team better. Crunch.
I'm definitely going to crunch as well. They dismantled the Thunder, and I think they're going to ride the championship through to another one.
Last one, guys. Crunch or munch. Spain will be the first team to win back-to-back cup titles.
I'm going to have to say crunch. They've looked so good so far, and they'll beat Italy easily.
I think munch. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure in this game, and I think Italy is going to take the title, and Spain's going to be left gasping for air. It's about time we wrap this thing up. But first, let me hit y'all with a little popcorn checking. Coming out of Mike Trout. Leaping grab to rob J.J. Hardy. Ridiculous hops. Check that out on our blog. Jess, hit us with a little This Just In.
All right, let's go around the world of sports. First of all, Rafael Nadal loses a shocker in the second round of Wimbledon in 5 sets to Lucas Rosol.
I'm shocked, Cotton.
From the Czech Republic. Earliest exit from a Grand Slam since 2005. There were some incidents during the game where he bumped into his opponent when they were crossing sides. Says Rosol, I'm not just surprised, it's like a miracle for me. I never expected something like this to happen.
Kid.
Moving on, Sidney Crosby signs a $104.4 million over a 12-year deal. He played only 28 games over the past year and a half. He's been suffering from concussion symptoms. According to ESPN, this is an interesting stat. Over the last 2 seasons, 617 players have played more games than Crosby.
Wow.
But over the same stretch, only 92 have scored more goals.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Moving on, the Euro 2012 Football Championship. Mario Balotelli scored 2 goals in the first half to advance the Italians. And they're going to play Spain on Sunday for the final.
Let's go, Italia.
Dwayne Wade will miss the Olympics. He's having left knee surgery. He played through pain in the finals, but still in the finals against OKC averaged 22.6 points per game.
Being a bitch.
And finally, to wrap it up, we have our boy Yaziel Puig. He's the recent Cuban defector that has signed a 7-year, $42 million with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Makes him the highest-paid Cuban defector ever. Putting him ahead of the A's Yoenis Cespedes, who signed a 4-year, $36 million deal. He's 21. He batted .330 and .327 at bats for the Cienfuegos Elefantes in the Cuban National Series, and in the playoffs, in 46 at bats, he batted .370.
All right, for Jess Berko, I'm Mac Rennie telling you to keep it on the field. Check us out at our website at after12snack.blogspot.com. Follow us on Twitter at after12snack, and make sure to like us on Facebook. Check for this weekend. We're going to have 3 blogs going up on either Saturday or Sunday. Going to be a lot of fun. Take it easy.
Hey, yo!